This might be the only time last season when Ja'Marr Chase faced this coverage. It's 3rd and 2. Jake Browning is at quarterback for the Bengals, so the Jacksonville Jaguars get really aggressive. Chase is a one-on-one, a true one-on-one, against the cornerback in a press man alignment with no safety help over the top. Not even linebacker help to his inside. Every single route here is the cornerback's responsibility and his responsibility alone. He can't play inside or outside leverage, he can't bail back. He has to be in position to react to everything. Chase begins the play by closing half the space directly to the defender, then cutting sharply towards the sideline. The defense was threatening to blitz, so Chase knows he has to get into his route with urgency. He doesn't waste time trying to get a completely clean release from the line of scrimmage. That lets the defender put his hand on Chase's inside shoulder. The receiver uses a strong inside arm to fend his opponent off before accelerating in behind him down the sideline. He's on top of the cornerback and could pull away, but Browning's ball is slightly underthrown. The end zone angle shows us how the cornerback is flailing desperately in Chase's wake as he continues downfield with the ball for the touchdown. He had no shot on this play, even with the ball slightly underthrown. This is why teams don't leave Chase in one-on-ones. It's hard enough to stop him when the cornerback has help to play towards. It's impossible to do so when you don't have any help at all. Here we'll see the Tennessee Titans take the completely opposite approach and still lose to Chase. The receiver is lined up on the narrow side of the field to the top of the screen. The Bengals purposely isolate him there so they can put 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. That forces the defense to decide between giving Chase's defender help while exposing the rest of the secondary to more space, or not give Chase's defender help and play with more balance across the field. The Titans play cover 1, sending a 5th rusher on the blitz with a single high safety and man coverage across the board. But you'll notice that single high safety is nowhere near the middle of the field. He's fully cheating onto Chase's side of the field from the beginning of the play. It's not a true double team, but Chase is drawing the thick of the coverage. Chase releases into the cornerback but then angles outside as soon as the defender bails backwards. He's widening from that moment on. Despite his height, Chase is one of the quickest players in all of football. It's how he's immediately gained separation from the defender to his outside. With that initial space from the defender, Chase can then stop instantly at the top of his route for the first down. He has no wasted motion in his break. There's no extra step, and he pivots smartly off his outside foot to turn inside. It's as smooth as you'll ever see this route run, so of course the cornerback is nowhere near the ball at the catch point. We see a similar setup against the San Francisco 49ers here. The Bengals again isolate Chase on the narrow side of the field with 3 receivers on the wide side. The defense is less aggressive this time, dropping into coverage. Chase is instantly past the inside shoulder of the cornerback in front of him. As he makes that move, the deep safety turns away from the quarterback and is now fully focused on the wide receiver. Chase is now bracketed with a defender underneath and outside, as well as a defender over the top and inside. He should be taken out of the play completely from this position. The cornerback tries to redirect Chase by knocking him inside off of his vertical stem, but Chase is too strong for him, so he brushes past the contact while maintaining the integrity of his route. While that was happening, the deep safety was sprinting across the field to cover over the top. With the contact from the cornerback and Chase still having to turn, the safety should be the favourite to win this race to the sideline, but Chase's speed and balance mean he comfortably wins that race. And then he tops it off with a toe drag catch going out of bounds. The Bengals had a stacked wide receiver core last year, but Chase is the only one who wins that route consistently. From the defense's perspective, there's nothing you can do when you're focusing on taking away one receiver and that receiver is still the one who's beating you. You need the quarterback to miss the throw. For this 3rd and 10 against the Rams, Chase runs a very similar route against a very similar coverage. He discards the defender's press coverage by rapidly shifting his weight from left to right before pushing past him upfield. That defender is immediately out of the play, left to the inside and behind. The deep safety is also to the inside, so Chase has created a window by the sideline for his corner route. Joe Burrow misses this throw by about 4 yards, but Chase is able to redirect back and shape his body to secure possession before going out of bounds. Showcasing Chase's elite short area quickness can be done in different ways. When he moves inside to the slot away from the ultra-athletic cornerback's outside, it becomes even more incredible. Chase is left uncovered in behind a blitz here. He's the hot route and reads it, so he instantly turns around. The ball placement forces Chase to leave his feet, but he smartly twists as he's going up for the ball so he can land facing forward. That allows him to see the linebacker coming towards him from the middle of the field. Even with that, the linebacker has him dead to rights. Chase somehow touches his feet to the ground and immediately accelerates past that defender, so he can only get his forearms to him. When the most athletic defenders on the field can't get near him with the sideline to play to outside, you can't expect any slot cornerback, linebacker or safety to ever cover him effectively inside. Chase runs the same route from the same spot on this play against the Kansas City Chiefs. The defense doesn't blitz this time, but Chase is open again. Burrow is late to see it, so the ball doesn't come out in time. Instead of staying still, Chase looks to cut to the middle of the field when he sees Burrow is still in the pocket. It's only after Chase goes inside that Burrow goes to the right flat. Chase is going in the wrong direction at this point. His athleticism is what allows him to redirect back to his quarterback, but it's the fact he recognizes it too that makes his play so impressive. His intelligence and his desire to work for his quarterback shine through. Even after working around the defender to get open, Chase isn't settling for the completion. His body posture at the catch point, with the lead leg extended as a pivot and his hands catching the ball away from his body, allows him to reverse field again to generate more yards after the catch. Sometimes the most talented receiver in the league has an entitled playing style. They expect the quarterback to find them as a matter of priority early in the play. That's not the case with Chase. His work rate stands out in every single drive of every single game he plays. One of his biggest plays of last season was this play against the Houston Texans where his work rate was key. Chase is running a drag route from the left slot towards the right sideline underneath the coverage. He's going to catch the ball deep down the left sideline though. Chase is open, but Burrow isn't looking at him and won't in his current route. The receiver and quarterback redirect towards the opposite side of the field at the same time. Chase never stops his feet throughout this play, and his speed puts him in front of the two defenders trying to cover him. Burrow has Chase open, but it's not an easy throw while moving to his left. Burrow is a caliber of quarterback who is more than capable of recognizing the opportunity and more than capable of making the throw. Chase's intelligence shows up again here for a touchdown against the Arizona Cardinals. Chase gets inside position on the defender easily and can run across the back of the end zone. But when he looks back to the pocket, he can see his quarterback has been moved off of his spot. There is space for the receiver to continue into, but he doesn't know where Burrow is going to settle, so he slows down instead to let the play develop for a moment. Burrow doesn't sprint to the right flat like you might have expected him to. He resets and locks eyes with Chase in the back of the end zone. Chase instantly redirects back on himself so that he comes wide open. The trailing defender was looking back to the quarterback, and the outside defender arrives at the catch point a split second too late. Once the ball reached Chase, it wasn't coming out. In that same game, Chase and Burrow connected for a touchdown from the same position, but this time Chase did run across the backline of the end zone. This time when Chase turns the corner, he can see that Burrow is already moving out of the pocket to his right side, and he understands that the offense has 8 players in pass protection. That means the quarterback will have time, but it also means there's nobody on the opposite side of the field for him to throw to. The race across the back of the end zone is a non-contest. Chase easily moves away from both defenders trying to stop him. We've watched a lot of Chase creating massive gaps of separation against defenders so far, but this is also a 6 foot 200 plus pound receiver. He's big, and more importantly, he plays big. This corner route against the Houston Texans is similar to plays we've seen before. The defense plays zone, so there is a safety over the top and the cornerback underneath. This is where Joe Burrow should throw the ball to split the two defenders equally. But this is where Burrow is actually going to throw the ball to. His pass redirects Chase so that he drifts further upfield into the deep safety. You never want the ball to arrive high and inside to a route that is breaking to the outside. That exposes it to the defender. The safety is the favourite to break up this ball even if he has little chance of actually catching it. Chase's size gives the defender an obstacle to work over, and he maximises the impact of his size by reaching up to snatch the ball at its highest point. He turned the odds in his favour. 2 plays against the Pittsburgh Steelers show off the versatility of Chase's ball skills and hand strength. Firstly, he makes this possession catch over the middle between 2 defenders. Chase's size first comes into play when he accelerates upfield past the slot cornerback. The defender is hanging off of him to try and slow him down, but the receiver can fend him away. When he turns inside, he has no fear exposing his ribs to the safety to reach up to make the play. The safety can't get there to hit him, but the speed at which Chase brings the ball in and protects himself gave him a very limited window to hit, even if he was in a better starting position. Now let's flip to the outside when Chase works the sideline. The cornerback does a really good job of fighting Chase off the line to widen him in his route. He's helped by a deep safety over the top, so Chase can't create any space. The ball is already in the air and there isn't a window for it to arrive into, but Chase's size and ball skills will create an opportunity for a big play. Chase's technique, the way in which he approaches to catch the ball at its highest point while separating away from the defender, protects the catch point before he goes out of bounds. You can't blame the cornerback here at all. He did nothing wrong. Against the Indianapolis Colts, we're going to see Chase combine strong ball skills at the catch point with great hand usage through his break. Chase runs a vertical stem to threaten the inside, but the cornerback has a safety in the middle of the field and a linebacker dropping deep to his side of the field, so he stays true to his outside leverage. He's in a great position when Chase is about to enter his break. Chase can turn faster than the defender can, so he gets underneath him still. The defender is able to put 2 hands to his upper body to stop him, but like a great pass rusher, Chase understands that 1 arm is longer than 2, putting his hand into the defender's chest to separate through the break. The defender is knocked backwards, which buys Chase time to protect the ball at the catch point. Burrow and Chase are going to connect on a back shoulder throw on this play against the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks. The first thing to note is how ineffective the defender's attempt to knock Chase off course is early in his route. After Chase slaps the defender's hand away, he is immediately looking back for the ball, whereas the defender is working to get on top of the route. Chase ushers the defender further upfield with his inside arm to create an uncontested catch for himself. He used the defender's momentum against him. From there, he shows off his ability after the catch to gain extra yardage. Some receivers in the NFL can be labelled as finesse receivers. Some receivers can be labelled as big or physical receivers. Regardless of your size, to be one of the best receivers in the NFL, you have to be both. And these traits don't exist separate from each other either. They often work together. Let's look at how easily Chase beats the jam attempt on this play against the Tennessee Titans. He combines quick feet and fluid body control with aggressive strong hands to go past the defender as if he wasn't there. He instantly has more than a step of separation to the inside against the defender for his slant route. From the end zone angle, we can see how much that separation had grown to at the catch point. That's a direct result of his great work at the line of scrimmage. Ja'Marr Chase is a truly generational football player. He sets the standards for wide receivers across the league and is the protagonist for so much of the Cincinnati Bengals' success on offense. He has so far played in a stacked offense with a smart quarterback, so he's never really been force-fed the ball to give him bloated numbers. Barring any unforeseen circumstances in terms of injury or his life away from football, the floor for a player of Chase's caliber is the Hall of Fame. Him making the Hall of Fame shouldn't even be noteworthy. The discussion should be where he ranks amongst the very best receivers of all time once his career is finished.